Shortly after 1 p.m., a caisson bearing the casket of President Kennedy moved down Pennsylvania Avenue from the White House to the Capitol. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, as fans began filing into Municipal Stadium, the Cowboys made their final preparations reluctantly.
I felt totally lethargic in terms of how I wanted to approach this game, and I can't believe it. And I was just the opposite kind of football player.
You got your game face on by Sunday. That means a chip on your shoulder. And I didn't have a chip on my shoulder that day, I can tell you that. And I didn't have my game face on.
Fearing anti-Dallas sentiment among the fans, Browns owner Art Modell took an unusual precaution in the form of specific instructions to public address announcer Johnny Holiday.
Mr. Modell said, "It may be difficult, but I don't want you to use the word Dallas at all throughout the game." He said, "I think there's so much anger directed toward Dallas, let's just use Cowboys the entire game."
It seemed there were armed guards everywhere. Kind of the feeling that we got after 9/11, when every time you turned around there was a soldier with a gun. It was that kind of feeling walking in, that maybe these people were serious. Nobody knew.
This is the old Scotsman Gordon McClendon in Cleveland, Ohio. Here at Municipal Stadium, a crowd of 40,000 is in a deep hush.
On November 24th, 1963, the crowd was unusually small for a Browns home game. But it was a crowd on edge. And just before kickoff at 2 p.m. Eastern, it was time for the Cowboys to take the field. No one knew how the fans would react, least of all, the players from Dallas.
I would be the first guy that would run out there. And everyone kept saying, "Oh, well, it's nice knowing you." And, you know, I didn't think it was too funny.
Different things at different times were being shouted out by the crowd.
It was killers,
Assassin,
murderers.
Kennedy killer.
It was kind of scary.
Normal game, you introduce each player, they come out under the goal post and go out to midfield. We just started the game with no introductions at all. Kickoff, and that was it.
Bottles were thrown down toward our bench. Nothing hit me, but they were throwing some things at us. And they told us to wear our parkas and our helmets at all times.
You were also suspicious in the back of your mind somebody could shoot. So when you went out on the field, you were naturally kind of looking around.
People were really mad, and they blamed it on the city.
Even some of the Cleveland players shared their fans' animosity toward the visiting team's hometown.
This city, Dallas, has killed our president. That was a feeling that we had. We wanted to get after Dallas.
Hard to believe a football game where transistor radios are all tuned throughout the stands to some other event entirely.
The Cleveland fans were listening for news of Oswald's fate back in Dallas. And during the first quarter, word came from Parkland Hospital.
Mr. Oswald died at 1:07 our time in the operating room of the gunshot wound.
The only thing I could think about during the whole game was, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to get on the airplane and go back home and see what all's going on.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., Americans had begun filing into the rotunda of the Capitol to pay their respects to the late president.
If it had been possible and we'd have been close to Washington, D.C., that's what I would have liked to have been doing that day.
Clearly distracted, both teams played poorly, combining for 9 turnovers. Even the Browns' future Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown lost a rare fumble.
I don't remember anything that took place in the game, whether we won or lost. I just remember this crowd was just so hostile. It was kind of frightening.
For those of you who have interest in the world of sports, at this time, the final score was Cleveland 27, Dallas 17.
This pattern, one of Starr's favorites, forces a linebacker into man-to-man coverage on Pitts. Pitts beats number 52, Dave Edwards, to the inside. Elijah rolls through Warren Livingston's tackle and drives into the end zone for Green Bay's first touchdown. As the spotlight camera shows, Starr capitalized on the superior speed of Pitts. It is Green Bay 7, Dallas nothing. Following the touchdown, Don Chandler kicks off. At the goal line, Mel Renfro takes the ball. Renfro fumbles at the 20. The ball bounces into the hands of Jim Grabowski, who runs it in for Green Bay's second touchdown in 12 seconds. Renfro's fumble was a combination of unfortunate circumstances. Watch the ball tucked in Renfro's right arm. Gail Gillingham pokes it free. Grabowski picks it up without breaking stride. Trailing by 14 points, the Cowboys seem well on the way to humiliation. The Packers, masters of the big play, strike back in the second quarter with one of their own. Starr's perfectly thrown pass reaches Carroll Dale for a 51-yard touchdown. Starr's pinpoint passing is evident on this big play. He leads Boyd Dowler a long reach beyond Mel Renfro for a Packer touchdown. Finally, on 3rd and 19, Starr climaxes his brilliant series. The Packers pick up a Cowboy blitz, and Starr lofts a 28-yard pass to Max McGee for a touchdown. For 34-year-old McGee, this was his only catch of the day. Max shows he has lost none of his guile with this great fake on Livingston. With 1:58 left, Meredith tries for Clark again. Interference called on Tom Brown makes it goal to go, and the Cowboys are just 2 yards away from a possible sudden death playoff. A brief hole in the Packer line snaps shut, and Reeves gains only a yard. On second down, watch number 68, Jim Bokey. Once before, he moved before the snap, and he does it again. Meredith's pass slips through Norman's hands, but it doesn't matter. The Cowboys are set back to the 6 for illegal procedure. That was not the only blow to Dallas on that play. Number 30, Reeves, is smashed by Bob Brown, then by Cappy. The battering leaves him with double vision. On the next play, Reeves, unable to see clearly, drops Meredith's easy pass. With 74 seconds left, it is 3rd and goal from the 6. No longer in running range, Meredith passes to Norman at the 2-yard line. Some people felt that Norman scored on this play, but the super slow motion camera proves without a doubt that his knees were on the ground when Tom Brown made contact with him. For Coach Tom Landry, time is running out. It's the Cowboys' last chance. Meredith tries a sprint-out option. Robinson forces a desperate pass, which is intercepted by Tom Brown to clinch a 34-27 victory for Green Bay. On a day of big plays by the offense, Robinson's one big defensive play is the difference. Robinson hesitates, then slides behind Leon Donahue and tackles Meredith, trying to pin both his arms. Falling, Meredith is fortunate to get the ball away. The undirected pass wobbles into the arms of Tom Brown.
Here are the Packers. Third down, inches to go to Pater. 17-14. Cowboys out in front. Packers trying for the go-ahead score. Starr begins the count. Takes the snap. He's got the quarterback thinking he's in for the touchdown, and the Packers are out in front. 20-17. There's 13 seconds showing on the clock, and the Green Bay Packers are going to be world champions, NFL champions for the third straight year. People pouring out of the stands. We're going to have a problem kicking this extra point. They're coming out from all sides, out onto the field. The Packers know they've got it won. So does everybody else. But we've got to move this extra point, and there will be a kickoff. Time for that much more at least.
Baltimore's gained only 4 yards passing. Unitas is 1 out of 4. On 3rd and 10. He's throwing, and it's over the head of Hinton. That is going to be an incomplete pass. If it was not touched by Dallas, Dallas may have kicked that ball. You cannot have a completion from one offensive man to another offensive man.
And that's what the Cowboys are arguing. We'll see if we can see it. And here comes the ball. We'll see how many touch it. No, he didn't quite. Yes, it looked like somebody tipped it. It looked like it might have been Eddie Hinton. And there's Mackey, 88.
They give it to Thomas. And Thomas trying to spin to that goal line. And he's in. Wait a minute, he fumbled at the goal line. He fumbled right at the goal line. And Dallas is unhappy now. He lost the ball as he spun back toward the goal line. That's the first turnover for Dallas, and it cost him 6 points. Third down. Intercepted. Rick Boak at the 20, at the 10, Boak's to the 2. Baltimore, first and goal. Nowatzki again, and he's in. Baltimore's in for the touchdown. The kick is good. It's a tie game. Slot right. Morton being chased by Bubba Smith. Unload. Intercepted by Mike Curtis. Mike Curtis intercepts, and Baltimore has a chance now to win it. All right, here you are now. What a... And the kick is up. The kick is good. Jimbo Brand with 5 seconds. The Colts lead 16-13.
9 rushes, no pass. The direction of Lynn Swan, caught by Swan. Legal catch.
And one of the great catches, Pat. Watch Bradshaw. He doesn't use much play-pass action. Now watch this move by Swan to the outside. Washington has the one chunk. But I'll tell you, the young man from SC is fleet. There's the jump. Boy, he gets them both down. A beautiful reception. The ball well thrown.
Third down, Steelers. Bradshaw back. The blitz is on for Dallas. The Steelers pick it up. Lynn Swan out there. Caught it! What a catch by Lynn Swan. On the rebound. Mark Washington with him again, but again he caught it.
All right, this was against the 3-man rush, and Pat, you called it. The Cowboys came with everybody. Watch this. Here comes the start. Good pass blocking. People are going over and over. The long throw. Look at the tip now by Lynn Swan. And the catch on the other side. He's made 2 incredible catches. We're not at halftime yet.
Zarella again shading his eyes, but the sun's not usually a factor in kicking field goals. At the 23. This one, no good again. A little altercation. Jethro Pugh grabbed Smith Harris and said, "We need you."
Now Lambert's walking by. Here's Harris telling him something, and grabs the kicker, and Lambert at 6'5" works him over.
Right now he's in a passing situation. Harris and Flyer, the running backs.
Outside, Swan caught it. Never saw the ball coming. Completely done on reflex.
And the great thing about Bradshaw is that even though he throws a hot pass, it's easy to catch. Now, he's a very strong guy. I've watched him throw it 78 yards, just flat-footed. But look at this. It has a lot of spin on it. And Swan has those soft hands. 11 touchdown catches, but none today, not yet.
Harris, 25 carries now for 82 yards. He carried 34 times last year, you recall. Here's Bradshaw. Bothered from behind. Lynn Swan is open. Got it. Steeler touchdown. Mark Washington with him. The Cowboys had the safety flipped on. 64-yard touchdown pass from Bradshaw to Lynn Swan, and Bradshaw is down.
Bradshaw is down, but he threw the ball about 65 yards, and he threw it a ton. Now he's on his feet. He's got a long time to rest up. That's got to be one of the great passes in Super Bowl history or in pro football history.
Dallas had a blitz going. Let's look at it again.
All right, here he is, number 12. He does not like the play pass, and what difference does it make now? It's a run by the blitz Mel Renfro man. Here it is. And Lynn Swan does it again. Mark Washington's there, but he's in the wake by about a step and a half.
This most certainly the last play of Super Bowl X, unless we have a penalty. Staubach pumps and fires.
That's all.
Picked off in the end zone by Glenn Edwards, and he's going to bring it out. This one is over. Edwards is down at the 28, and the Steelers repeat. Of Super Bowls come to an end with Pittsburgh's Chuck Noll, a repeat champion. They beat Minnesota last year, and now they have defeated the wild card teams in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys, coached by Tom Landry.
And they have a 3rd down and 2, and they're on the Pittsburgh 10.
It's 3rd down and 3, Dallas at the Pittsburgh 10. Roger back to throw, has a man open in the end zone, caught, touchdown, drop! Jumped in the end zone. Jackie Smith all by himself. Oh, bless his heart. He's got to be the sickest man in America. Oh, Jackie was so wide open in the end zone. It was incredible. And he could not hang on to the ball.
He has helped them all year. I can remember playing a Pro Bowl in 1965 with Jackie Smith. Not many players play that long at that position. But what happens here? Roger Staubach's got all the time in the world. Jackie Smith is wide, wide open. Nobody within 10 yards of him. And almost too far open. Too much time to think. Staubach pulled the plug a little bit. Now we're going for a 27-yard field goal.
Something else happened on that play that might have a real bearing on the game, too. It looked like Lambert may have been injured on the play.
And he's doing it in the Super Bowl. He'll throw again. A blitz is on. A high lob. Look out. One there. Flags are down. Benny Barnes. This could be interference. Benny Barnes. It's a close play. A trip. Lynn Swan and Benny Barnes. Who's it on?
Well, Benny Barnes was in a position where he did not have his eye on the ball. He actually slipped trying to make a move back around toward it. And as Lynn Swan with a perfect angle to the ball went to move, they got tangled up. You see Cliff Harris is on a safety blitz. He's well picked up in the center by Rocky Bleier. It's a 28-yard penalty, and it really puts Pittsburgh in excellent position.
That's an awfully tough call for an official, and they did a good job of covering it. But again, what great coverage from our camera crews, our technicians here. John, I know that you and Kurt would agree. It's just been a thrill to be able to look down here on our monitors and see this great coverage of this game.
Can I say something in defense of Jackie Smith? I don't think one play in the middle of the third quarter turns the tide of a ball game. There's been too many big plays all day long to make one miss the indicator. Obviously, if we put 7 points on the board, it would have been the difference. I don't think it was in this game.
17 seconds to go. Again, Bradshaw goes down. And the Cowboys will come in. They look up at the clock. And it's moving along now. They're out of timeouts. The Steelers have won it. The best Super Bowl game of them all. They had a great one in Super Bowl X. This was even better. Chuck Noll goes off. He has won his 3rd Super Bowl title. The Cowboys came back with 2 touchdowns, and there were 66 points scored. And for those that said that they don't score in Super Bowls, this one showed that they can.
The Eagle offense was as explosive as Dallas's was sluggish. It took the Eagles just 14 seconds to score. On their second play from scrimmage, Ron Jaworski went with Wilbert Montgomery, a back with bad knees. 42 yards later, the Eagles had their first score of the game. Montgomery had been plagued with knee problems all season, but gave little evidence to that effect. The run was vintage Montgomery, who doesn't believe in going with the flow. On this afternoon in January, he scored their last. In the first half, Doomsday had again asserted itself. After Wilbert Montgomery's touchdown on the Eagles' second play from scrimmage, the Dallas defense shut out Philadelphia's attack. The frigid weather conditions had shaped the pattern of the game. The ability to run the football would in large part determine the NFC champion. The Eagles continued to feature their ball control offense, highlighted by number 31, Wilbert Montgomery. But the Dallas flex defense, anchored by Randy White, number 54, was primed to stop a running game that netted over 100 yards in the first half. Even Philadelphia's passing attack was designed to control the ball, short passes to their backs. But Anthony Dickerson, number 51, disrupted the Eagles' strategy with this interception of a poorly thrown Jaworski toss. Once more, Doomsday had bent, but had not broken. The interception was only the beginning of a third quarter that was to be filled with turnovers. Unfortunately for the Cowboys, when the mistakes were tallied, Dallas had made more. James Jones' fumble of a Philadelphia punt was quickly followed by a Danny White cough-up. The Cowboys' sleek offensive machine was most certainly out of order. Another look at the miscue shows that defensive right end Carl Hairston, number 78, took an outside rushing route, using his quickness to overcome number 67 Pat Donovan to get to the quarterback. Despite great field position, Philadelphia settled for a field goal and a 10-7 lead midway through the third period. Tony Dorsett's fumble was recovered by the Eagles. Perhaps the most revealing statistic was that late in the third quarter, the Cowboys had run only 10 offensive plays in the second half. Harris's 9-yard touchdown run gave Philadelphia a 17-7 lead entering the fourth period. Would the Eagles, a team built on character and determination, succumb to another Dallas fourth quarter comeback? When Tony Franklin split the uprights at the game's 2-minute mark, the Eagles were on their way to Super Bowl XV. In an ironic twist, Philadelphia had beaten America's team by adhering to a uniquely American credo, old-fashioned hard work, and the Cowboys knew it. With only 58 seconds left in San Francisco on the Cowboys' 6-yard line, Joe Montana and Dwight Clark ended the masterful drive in spectacular fashion.
Looking to throw, and he throws into the end zone.
Clark's leaping catch and Ray Wersching's extra point gave San Francisco a 28-27 lead. The 49ers' celebration may have been a little premature. Needing to come from behind in the final moments, Dallas felt right at home. Drew Pearson's reception put the Cowboys in San Francisco territory. But with 38 seconds remaining, Lawrence Pillars, number 65, stunted, fought through the Dallas guard and forced Danny White to fumble. The loose football was recovered by Jim Stuckey, number 79, pulling down the curtain on the Cowboys' comeback magic. Weissman culminated the Washington scoring drive when he spotted yet another new face. First-year wide receiver Charlie Brown, number 87. Pro Bowl designate Charlie Brown lifted Washington to their first score and a 7-3 lead. He's building his reputation one touchdown at a time. Then the Cowboys began making the kind of mistake that is quite out of character for this playoff-conditioned team. Rookie kick returner Rod Hill bobbled a Redskin punt, and the ball was recovered for an apparent Washington touchdown. Despite vigorous lobbying by the Redskin defense, the ball was brought back out to the original point of contact. Fortunately for the Cowboys, the referee's call was correct. The rule states the kicking team may recover but not advance unless the receiving team had possession. In Rod Hill's case, touching the ball did not mean possession. The ball was then returned to the point at which it was first touched. So it was Redskins ball at the Dallas 11-yard line. It took Washington 4 plays to stick the ball back in the end zone. Appropriately, the scoring chores were handled by John Riggins. When defensive end Dexter Manley zeroed in on a stunt. The blow left White senseless, and the play was his last of the 1982 season. The Redskin defense had rained on White and the Cowboys, and as the Washington sky threatened rain as well, Dallas headed for the nearest storm cellar, trailing at the half 14-3. But as Washington closed in on the Cowboy end zone, their strategy became more bullish, thanks to ox-like running back John Riggins. And the young quarterback no doubt harbored grand illusions of coming off the bench to lead America's team to their 6th Super Bowl appearance. Unfortunately, those thoughts began to fade when number 55, Mel Kaufman's interception, set up a Mark Mosley field goal that boosted the Redskins' lead to 24-17. Bogaboom's first mistake cost the Cowboys 3 points. His second cost them a trip to Pasadena. Dexter Manley's tipped pass fell into the large arms of Darrell Grant, number 77, who rambled 10 yards into the end zone for the game-clinching touchdown. The Redskins' 31-17 win marked their first victory over the Cowboys since 1978 and earned the team from the nation's capital their second NFC championship. While the heroic Hogaboom and the rest of the Cowboys suffered the disappointment of their third consecutive NFC title defeat, the Redskins celebrated the 10-year anniversary of their first Super Bowl appearance by earning another opportunity to play for the World Championship of professional football.
And the two-strike pitch. Strike three. The fans applauded Witt warmly when he went out to the mound to start the bottom of the ninth inning. And this is recognition, and even though he's a member of the opposition, it's recognition of a tremendous feat that he might accomplish. He has struck out 10. Ground ball to second. Wilfong to first, 2 down. He is 1 out away from a perfect game, and Marv Foley will bat. 2 balls a strike. Bouncing ball to second. He's going to do it. A perfect game for Mike Witt. Mike Witt pitches a perfect game for California. And the Angels mob him. So that is the first no-hitter ever pitched in Arlington Stadium. The first perfect game pitch since Lynn Barker of Cleveland pitched a perfect game against Toronto in 1981. Catfish Hunter a perfect game. Oakland against Minnesota 1968. He threw 90 pitches on the way to this perfect ball game. He struck out 10. An absolute masterpiece.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Texas Stadium for this, the final replacement game of the NFL season. And tonight it's the Washington Redskins and the Dallas Cowboys. And it has been a bizarre week and a bizarre season for the NFL. The strike, of course, ended on Thursday, but so much has been left up in the air.
Maybe more importantly, for the majority of players on this field, they know it's their last game in the National Football League.
Third down, 1, Dorsett. And Dorsett spins and twists and could have dropped the football in there. The Redskins are saying that they have the football. Now, Dorsett had not fumbled.
They got it.
In 8 consecutive games into the night, and this time he coughs it up as he tried to spin and twist for the first down. And as Dan Binish, the veteran player that had put in a lot of time with the Atlanta Falcons.
This Dallas crowd just doesn't know how to react. They can't stand the thought of losing a game to the Redskins, but yet they're not enamored of all of Tony Dorsett. Alec Gibson, the linebacker, was the guy who got the hand on Dorsett. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. This crowd just doesn't know how to react. Tony Dorsett had the ball in the proper position up against his body in the midsection. And
19-yard attempt for O'Reilly. And the Redskins take a Tony Dorsett fumble. In for 6. They have the extra point, or rather the field goal, and they now lead 3-0. First down and 10. The Cowboys at their own 36-yard line. They're down by 3. 4:06 remaining in the first quarter. The ball is loose again. Covered by Bobby Curtis. Alec Gibson hit Tony Dorsett. The ball came loose in the second fumble for Tony Dorsett. And we had mentioned earlier that Tony Dorsett had not fumbled in 8 consecutive regular season games. And then now he's coughed it up twice.
How many times you see Dallas run this play just out of the eye? Look at the huge hole in the middle. But that's a picture tackle. Alec Gibson puts the shoulder on the ball. Tony had it protected, but...
First down, goal to go. The ball at the 16-yard line of the Cowboys. Vitale once again. No, a bootleg. And a handoff to Wilson. Cowboys went with Vitale. I went with Vitale. And Wilson brings it around, takes it in. 16-yard touchdown. And it's such an effective play. Any kind of change of direction play against the inexperienced experience of these defensive teams. Cowboys scored in the very first offensive play last week with a reverse. Reverse that went to Kelvin Edwards, who went 62 yards. Now the Redskins have scored from 16 yards out, and Obed Ariri puts it through. Let's take a look at it once again.
Vital takes the fake, then it's Robinson who just drops it backwards to Wilson, and Dallas caught completely by surprise, and Washington finally gets to the promised land.
Chukwuma is the middle name. It means, in translation, in Nigerian, God only knows. From 39 yards out, O'Reilly hits for the Washington Redskins, and their lead has increased over the Dallas Cowboys. They lead 13-7, 6:13 remaining in the game. Some confusion there. Danny White changing off. Danny White had changed it off. His receiver didn't pick it up, and Michael Mitchell gets the interception. You saw the change-up. You saw the movement on the part of the setbacks. As Danny White reading a blitz, looking for individual coverage. His receiver did not read it with him, and Mitchell, it's a very important interception for the Redskins.
Your assessment is exactly correct. It's Kelvin Edwards who's the wide receiver. See him running out of your picture? Danny White expected him to just do a button hook and sit down, and a timing pattern all the way. Well, the one play can't be for just the 3 or 4 yards. This has to be a play into the end zone.
The veteran out there is Mike Renfro. The hot receiver over the past few weeks, Kelvin Edwards. Burbage and Renfro to the right, Edwards is to the left. Intended for Edwards, incomplete. 2 seconds remaining, and the Redskins will take over. Joe Kofer made the defensive play for the Redskins.
And after the game that Danny White has played, it's really tough that it comes down to a pass like that, because you really have to wonder why, of all his receivers, that's where he throws the ball, because even if it's completed, it's not going to be a touchdown. The man has to go into the air, Kelvin Edwards, at the 6-yard line. Even if he makes the catch, he's nowhere near the end zone, which is where he had to be.
Jubilation on the side of the Redskins. They have won their 3 replacement games that they have played. The regulars will take over next week. They have the Jets at home. And the Redskins will have the NFC East lead. And more importantly, they have defeated each and every one of the teams in their division.
And I guess these fellas in the red jerseys get the Mark May back slap for a job well done. A little playoff money might be in stake for some of these guys too.
And of course, with the 3rd game, qualify for half a payment of any playoff games that are involved. Look at the excitement on this sidelines as Joe Gibbs is being carried off by a bunch of youngsters, a bunch of people you, I'm sure, do not know very much about. He has whipped them into quite a football team.
Those of you in the Dallas area got to still be reeling over the events of this past weekend. The new owner of the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL, Jerry Jones, has already set up offices in Big D. And the face of the Cowboys started to change almost immediately after the news of his purchase got out Saturday night. And speaking of faces, one of, if not the most recognizable face in the NFL will not be on the sidelines next year. Tom Landry has been ousted. And on Monday, as the Cowboys minicamp went on as scheduled, Landry's unscheduled departure took place. Nick Charles has the story.
Tom Landry was back at his desk over the weekend, but this time to empty it. The 64-year-old Landry had coached the Cowboys from the moment they were conceived, but now it's over. And Monday morning, this legend walked through the team's complex for perhaps the last time. He met with his players, told them he loved them, and asked them to give their best to the new coach, and to, above all, keep their composure the way he always did.
Yeah, this is a crisis, in a football team when you have a changing of the guard, and
and they've got to take a positive attitude, and that's the thing I like to see them do. And the other thing is tell them how much I was going to miss them.
And the feeling was unmistakably mutual.
It's a tough business, and it's cutthroat sometimes, but you never think that somebody like him is subject to all of that.
He didn't ask any sympathy from any player on the team. What he asked is that we continue to go out there and give it 110%. And I think that shows that he's the foundation of this organization, and that he want to continue to see this organization do well.
My heart really went out to him, and but that's kind of the way this business is, and I think he realized that probably more than anybody.
To a man, the players said there was a better way to let Landry go. The cold fact is, though, he was unceremoniously dumped, the way coaches who have never enjoyed a fraction of his success are dumped. But Landry, in keeping with his character, refused to take a parting shot.
I'm not better. That's just my nature is not to be better. I just think that you have to judge people as to how they operate, and sure, I think right now they could have done it a lot better.
But Monday in Arkansas, new owner Jerry Jones insisted he was sensitive to the subject.
The point is that it did mean everything to me for Coach Landry to hear what I had to say in the manner I had to say it as quickly as possible. And that was done. We made every effort in the world. Frankly, Coach Landry would have known about it a second after Tex Schramm knew about it if we could have gotten to him.
While nobody debates Jones's right to fire Landry or the wisdom in hiring Jimmy Johnson, Landry graciously made excuses for the way it was handled by the new owner.
I'm sure he was excited about getting the opportunity to own the Cowboys, and he wanted a good friend to be there too. And so to me, that was pretty apparent that I wasn't going to be there.
According to one player, there wasn't a dry eye in the room when Landry told the team goodbye, and the man who for so long was a study in icy composure to most choked up and couldn't finish his last speech, and suddenly he was gone, saying he would not return to football and was only sorry he went out a loser. But surely he knows better than that, because we know losing is something Tom Landry will never be remembered for. It's, in fact, the very opposite. Nick Charles, CNN Sports.
Tex Schramm then resigned as Cowboys president to run the new developmental league that will play in Europe and here in the States. Schramm's departure was a foregone conclusion. In the new order in Dallas, Schramm was out of the loop.
This is a very emotional time for me.
To be expected, Texas Schramm, yes, that's his given name, resigned today as club president after 29 years to run the new International Football League. Outgoing Commissioner Pete Rozelle was there. They were together in the 50s when Schramm, the Rams general manager, hired young Rozelle as PR director. Schramm left for CBS, where he supervised the first network Olympic coverage at Squaw Valley. Then at the same time, Rozelle became commissioner, and Schramm joined the expansion Dallas Cowboys. Each understood television, how it could turn the league into big business. It was TV that brought America's team into America's living rooms from the mid-60s to the mid-80s with 5 Super Bowl appearances. Owner Clint Murchison gave Tex a free hand. Tom Landry on the sideline, Schramm in the executive suite. It was magic. Till recently. Then came losing seasons, and in late February, new owner Jerry Jones. The first thing Jones did was fire Landry.
Having your relationship severed with somebody you've been very closely involved with for all that period, Tom Landry, was an emotional thing. Then right on the heels of that, going to the league meeting and finding out that the person that probably your closest personal friend is retiring and is not going to have the same relationship. That was a tough one for me.
But for Schramm, the second most powerful man in football, there are nearly 3 decades of Cowboy memories as he, Rozelle, and Landry leave the sporting life in short order. As Tex would tell you, it's a business. I'm Bob Lee, ESPN.
3rd and 13. It's tough to make progress. Flag again on the play. Aikman is thrown down in the end zone. And a fracas breaks out. Brett Hager was the man who hit him with flags all over the place.
That's going to be a penalty against the Eagles.
This is one of those that continues.
Look at Gogan there. He's going in a stance. This is a real fight.
That was Jerome Brown that Gogan was going after. We need the Marcus of Queensberry here instead of Gene Barth.
They need a cage to put those guys in, a cage match.
They forgot it's Thanksgiving.
Well, one thing, that just because the offense moves, that doesn't give the defense a free shot at your quarterback. Brent Hager come in and hit Aikman, so that has to be a penalty against the Eagles.
We've got encroachment on the defense, followed by offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls, with the exception that number 74 defense is disqualified. 74 defense is disqualified.
I still don't agree with that. They still gave, even though they throw Mike Pitts out of the game, you don't get a free shot. You see, they jumped off on defense. Now the whistle blows. They're stopping the thing. You don't get a free shot to come in and throw the quarterback down.
It's not 74. It's 54. It's Hager.
Well, Hager was the first guy that made the hit. I would say that Pitts probably did something in here. See 74 there? Probably something in that pile, some action in there.
Now, Buddy Ryan wants to make sure who is disqualified. Hager's the guy who made the hit on Aikman.
Well, the guy that originally jumped off sides was Jerome Brown. If the whistle doesn't blow, they can get the quarterback. If the whistle does blow, then they shouldn't be able to hit him.
And now they are saying that it was Pitts who was disqualified. But I think they're going to take another look.
I don't know what they disqualified him for, but they could disqualify.
Let me restate the fouls. We had an encroachment foul against the defense, which was enforced. We have offsetting unnecessary roughness fouls. However, the Philadelphia foul was a disqualification foul on number 74.
It was number 74. I didn't see what he did.
Well, you're in the pile, see? He's right here in the middle of the pile, right there. So you can see what he's going to do. That's what they took. That punch right there on Gogan. That had to be it. He just got the right hand in there. Now watch Gogan come back, man. Those both hands are pumping up. Yeah.
Then Dejas will kick it off. 10-0. Eagles lead. Short kick. To about the 25, a return of 11. Stopped by Bill Bass. So long a fixture here now. Plays on special teams, and Dejas is down.
I think he got knocked out. He's going to the wrong sideline. He's groggy.
Well, he was with the Eagles, you know.
I know it, but he's either going over there because he doesn't know where he is, or he's going over there to argue with someone.
I think he sees a galaxy or something.
No, he's hurt.
Yeah, he's down.
Kicking team. We're going to tack it on from the end of the run, 15 yards and a first down.
And then the penalty is against the Cowboys. But Zendejas got hit. And he was groggy. Then he got up, he talked to Cunningham, and then he went back down.
He probably forgot or lost who he was with. Gene Barth, the referee, and still there's a lot of milling around going on. And Zendejas is still down. Jimmy Johnson out on the field now talking with one of the officials. Zendejas is back up.
You know, most times if a kicker kicks off and doesn't really run down to make the tackle, they don't block him. The Eagles sent someone after Zendejas.
That's probably what he was arguing about. He wasn't going down, but I don't think that he knows what he's arguing about.
I don't think so either, not right now at least. I know that Johnson's very upset.
Well, Zendejas still doesn't have his bearings.
It used to be when you kicked off, you had to run down and cover kicks, and they always sent somebody after you. Well, we'll be back. We still got to pick the outstanding player for both teams. Once again, the final score is Philadelphia 27, the Dallas Cowboys nothing.
Let's make a couple of points here. There's no question Jesse Small goes right for Lewis Zendejas. It's legal. Once the kick is in the air, the kicker becomes a football player in the NFL. Now, we want to show you another angle here because Zendejas gets flagged because he drops down and hits him below the knees. And then after the game, the furor starts with Dallas coach Jimmy Johnson.
Winning and losing the ball game, of course, concerns me. What concerns me more than anything else is when you take away from the integrity of the game. I mean, having bounties on opposing players is not the way it's supposed to be done. I mean, we were told last night by a coach, and it was confirmed by two different players. There's a $200 bounty on Lewis Zendejas, a $500 bounty on Troy Aikman. That takes away from the integrity of the game. And I would have said something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
I resent that. I've been on a diet. I lost a couple of pounds, and I thought I was looking good. And then he goes and called me fat. I kind of resent that a little.
Luis Zendejas misfires on the field goal, and as it was being missed wide right, Al Jury was apparently hit on the back of the head with a snowball. And you see him now laughing and putting on a helmet.
They offered him a helmet, but he got KO'd right in the back of the head and floored him right in the end zone.
Mike Saxon to punt. Anthony Edwards fair caught the first one. Gizmo Williams, and snowballs are flying out around Mike Saxon down in the end zone. You can see another one. Security ought to get down there. That could get dangerous if somebody loads up one of those things. Edwards at the 38. And he's back to the 48-yard line. There is also a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Well, you know, this happened in Cleveland. There's your holding on the Cowboys. But, you know, you're talking about snowballs, Vern, and this is the very problem they had in Cleveland. And the Broncos and the Browns, they forced them to reverse the ends of the field.
Holding, number 55, kicking team. Penalty decline. First down.
So the Eagles will take over near midfield. Already today, Al Jury, the back judge, was clipped in the back of the head by a snowball thrown from that end zone. So one would hope that security would get down there and begin patrolling. Timeout. Toss right side. Anthony Toney weaves his way inside the 35 to the 33. And there's the first fisticuffs that have broken out. David Howard was a part of it. Ron Heller may have been a part of it as well. And there's a player down at the 35. More snowballs come out of the stands.
Can't see the injury, but there's 99 coming back in. Now there's Howard, and he goes to the head of Ron Heller.
Second down and 10, play fake. Aikman darts to his right. Got some room to run. And does so out of bounds. Chased there by Seth Joyner. And a flag.
Wrong sideline to be trying to pick a fight. Too many blue helmets, too many blue jerseys over there. And Aikman's intent now is to stare down Seth. Now he's out of bounds. And then the right hand to the back of the head. He can't do it. I mean,
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 59 defense. First down.
All right, that's just on the shoulder, but the point was that Aikman had taken a step out of bounds, and once he goes out of bounds, you know how they protect these quarterbacks. You're better off just pulling up. Just keep your hands off of him. You're not going to get anything but a personal foul, and that's exactly what happened.
In the meantime, I just saw Reggie White signaling to the crowd, the idiots up in that end zone, to please stop throwing the snowballs. Reggie was asking them to please stop, and they ignored him like they've ignored all other authority figures that are presumably up in that area. So the snowballs continue to fly. 13 minutes to go in the ball game. It's a 20-10 score.
And you know, it does send out a pretty good little message. You don't think Saxon's not thinking, hey, I'm going to get this one off a little bit? It does have an effect.
Here they come. And Anthony Edwards dodges away from the ball, and it is going to be down at the 41-yard line.
You're going to have a flag, and it looks like it's going to be thrown on Saxon or Jenkins.
Watch Izell Jenkins, number 46. This is Izell Jenkins and Mike Saxon. Saxon and Izell Jenkins gets a shot at Saxon. Now here comes Saxon after Jenkins. So this thing is not over.
Yeah, the flag was thrown right there. So if it was thrown right there, what they're going to do is penalize Jenkins right there. Had they seen the illegal block, well, we'll just wait and see. Either way, it's going to be 15 yards.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 46 receiving team. After the play was over, first down.
Take a look again. This is how all of this started between these two teams back on Thanksgiving Day. And here it comes again. Izell Jenkins, number 46. Mike Saxon. Dandy. Outstanding. And it takes a neutral bounce, or he had a shot of another 60-yarder. Listen to the ovation. And here comes the flag, and a fight breaks out. That time it was a Cowboy who shoved somebody in the back. And that reorients the crowd's interest.
Well, it's Golick 90 trying to explain.
Randy Shannon.
Trying to explain to Randy Shannon what happened, and this is ugly.
Now watch Randy Shannon, number 94, on the right-hand side. Well, it was Mike Reichenbach who came at Shannon. And there's a shove in the back of Manny Hendricks.
And Nate Newton went after Ricky Shaw. And it's the old domino effect. Let's all take somebody and take a shot at them. And we just dodged another snowball.
Yeah, we just
right over my head.
Had one thrown into the booth here.
If I had hair, it would have knocked it off.
We're back at Veterans Stadium, which has become a snow palace. Here's an example of what just came flying into our booth.
Right over my head. And the thing I was talking about, look at this. Look at the water come out of that. That hit the player in the deal, it splatters, and it's like a rock.
From the 40, Philadelphia with a 20-10 lead. Cunningham slips the tackle, and he'll run. Down to the 50-yard line, another flag comes flying out. And here we go again. Here's Cunningham.
Play action outside, no one there, fools everyone, goes down, and now David Howard, who we've seen earlier who had caught with a personal foul, throws a shot right in on Cunningham. You just can't do that, and you see it. Cunningham says, I'm not going to put up with it, this is ridiculous, and so he tries to retaliate. And
tell you, the kind of shot that was that Howard took, that might call for ejection. Buddy Ryan out on the field, now he comes back. Was 20 yards out onto the field. David Howard took the shot at Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, so you just can't.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 73 defense. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking and shoving, number 12 offense, offsetting penalties.
While we were away, Jerome Brown, the defensive tackle of the Eagles, pleading with those few who remain in the end zone, let's cut it out with the snowballs. And it didn't help much. They still come flying out of the end zone. I got to tell you what a joy it is to come to Philadelphia and stand here and dodge ice balls, not snowballs, but ice balls, about 25 of which have been thrown into the booth in the last 3 minutes. This is really fun.
Well, you see where I'm doing the game, don't you?
Yeah, about 6 feet back.
I'm way back behind the wall here because 3 have already hit me in the top of the head.
I had an abscess tooth and had a dental appointment last Monday that didn't last this long. You can see where we are, and then right below us, a group of about 6 or 7. Here comes another one flying out. Watch it, David. Cowboys lose it. Philadelphia wins 20-10.
The Spurs have been turning it up lately. The Mavs have won just once all season, but they're battling the boards. They're going to try and hang in there. Sean Rooks sticks with it, got the basket and the foul, then they hit from outside. Derek Harper with just about a half a minute left in the half. The Mavs within 2, but then an acrobatic move by Dale Ellis, who had 17 points in the third quarter. Robinson with the block, the outlet to Avery Johnson, back to Ellis. He knocks it down, and what was a 2-point game at the break, did Jerry Tarkanian swallow his towel? There was no need to sweat this one.
So both teams come up short on their first possession. Lionel Simmons down the lane for the Kings. He draws a foul, and he puts it on the glass and scores as he came right down the middle. Tisdale feeds it ahead now to Spud Webb. Spud accelerates down the lane, shovels it. 9%. He'll be having his hands full trying to keep up with the quickness of Spud Webb tonight. Inbounds to Tisdale in the paint. Swing it out on the point to Mitch Richmond. His first jumper. Mitch Richmond looks at a Sacramento lead. It didn't go. Kings with the rebound. Quickly back up to Richmond. He wants it up. The Mavs did a good job as they stripped the Kings and their defense, causing a transition opportunity which they cashed in on, but with their second delay of game warning, actually this one not a warning, this one results in the technical foul, and at the end of one, Sacramento with a 15-point lead at 35-20. Izzolino will handle against Jim Less. Kings have the bench well represented at the moment. Inbounds to Tracy Moore, on top to Howard. Howard into the paint. Started to put up a shot for the runner. Randy Brown knocked it away. Grabbed by Less. Back to Brown. He goes up for the power jam. Low left. And that's your Kings play of the game. Oh, my. 7:50 to go, first half. Lionel now on the right angle. He works to the edge of the paint, doubled to the left. They swing it to the left corner to Boundary. Bonner holds about 18 feet from the bucket. Invited to shoot by Randy White, but he hands off to Jim Less. Less drives through on the baseline, dumps it out. It's grabbed by Bonner on a deflection. AB back to Less, spots up for a long two-pointer, and he hits it. In the right corner, Jim Less for 2. Bonner in full flight, ahead to Richmond. Layup, got it. Scoop high off the glass with the right hand. Mavs come back quickly. Long lead to Tracy Moore. Drops to the trailer. Doug Smith down the lane. Misses the finger roll. Put back. No good. Simmons with a rebound. Outlet to Richmond. 2-on-2. Mitch off the dribble. Spot up 17-footer. He's got nothing but net. And the Kings have a 20-point lead just that quickly. The Mavs tried to run, and they couldn't cash on the far end, and the Kings were able to do so on the near end. Here's a steal attempt. Richmond rips it away from Palmer. Richmond to the open floor to a trailing Bonner. Power whip with the right hand. The rookie in transition takes the dribble toward the perimeter on the left side. Looked like he was going to attack the basket. Now Bonner sets the pick. Walt steps toward the middle of the floor. Still dribble alive. Kicks it out to Bonner in the left-hand corner. 10 on the shot clock now. Crowd trying to amuse itself by generating a wave. To Randy Brown. Straightaway jumper is good. Top of the foul circle. And it's 93-50. Both free throws from Izzolino good. Kings lead is 41, 93-52. Walt Williams, 18-footer straight away. He's got another one. Jim Less now to Marty Conlon in the game for the first time. Marty, who just came off the injured list, goes baseline to Randy Brown, and he hits the fadeaway rainbow. And at the end of 3, Sacramento leads this one 99-56. Stay tuned for more Kings basketball coverage. He may have had it in a cast for the next 6 weeks. Here's an inbounds to Conlon. Baseline rainbow good. Marty Conlon nails the two-pointer from the right corner. Free throws from Churchich are good. 105-64. Mavs trap in the backcourt. Higgins to the forecourt. Ahead to Williams. Back to Higgins. Shovels baseline left. Power jam by Bonner. And he's fouled as he did the Tarzan-like swing on the rim as he cleared traffic. He drew the foul, and he knew that there was going to be an opportunity to go to the free throw line as well. So ahead to Randy Brown, and the Kings are back in transition. Higgins fakes the spot up. He drives. Here's the runner. No, he dumps it out to Brown. He pushes to Conlon from 21. It's an air ball. Grabbed by Bonner for an easy basket, low left. And everything is going the Kings' way. Howard now holding on the right wing. Goes baseline inside, and it's ripped away by Jim Less on the steal. Long lead out to Brown. Touch pass to Higgins. He's fouled, and he scores in transition. When you talk about establishing dominance on your home court, you talk about rookies being hungry for minutes. The Kings are feasting on the Mavericks, and your heart goes out to Richie Adubato and his ball club. What must it be like to be looking at 2-21 on the year? And these Mavs tonight were forced to go without their leader. Here's a steal at midcourt by Randy Brown. Churchich to beat. Brown goes up and misses the jam. Conlon is there to save it and put it in. Randy Brown comes back with that sheepish grin on his face. Tracy Moore, long range on the far wing, answers with the long-range jumper, 133-75. Jim Less for three. There, he's got it on the right wing. It's 138-81. 57-point lead for the Kings. To Marty Conlon. Conlon off balance is fouled, throws up the 23-foot air ball. And the way this night has gone, you fully expected it to fall into the net with 1.7 seconds to go. We mentioned the 17 and a quarter for Anthony Bonner. That's within 3 of the Kings' record. Eddie Johnson had a 20-point quarter against Phoenix some years back. So Bonner has threatened that one here in this blowout. Conlon gets the free throw, and Marty Conlon now has, 9 points. That's his high this year for the Kings. 139-81. Here's the second one on the way. No good. And it is over. Finally, the horn sounds, and the Kings head to the locker room after demolishing the poor Dallas Mavericks.
Heard trying desperately to stop the road losing streak. Wouldn't happen in Cleveland, especially after playing in New York. Then they have to go to Cleveland. Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, the guys up front, the guys off the bench, everyone with an easy night. Watch a good passing by the Cavs. Price, Wilkins, Daugherty, Price back to Ferry. And Ferry, who's getting more minutes, hits the open jumper. Back inside again, Gerald Wilkins, a Jordan-like swoop to the hoop. The Cavs by 19 at the break, and then they step outside. Mark Price for three. And the Mavs shot down again. They lose by 27. The average for the season is a loss by 6.
See their smiles. Jim Jackson, Derek Harper trying to avoid a club record 16 straight loss. Blazers up by 11. Rooks in trouble, loses the ball. Here comes Portland the other way. Ellie to Terry Porter. Porter with 20 points in the first half. Then Rod Strickland went to work. How about that shot? 14 points for Strickland. Then it's Strickland again, one of his 11 assists to Ellie for the slam. Blazers up big. And Mavs aren't the only thing malfunctioning in Dallas. Mavs really look miserable in this game. More Dallas doldrums. Derek Harper can't find the hoop. Gar Hurd feeling only pain, and Terry Davis feeling a bit nauseous. He had to sit down during this game. Portland wins this one 124-96. 8 more losses in a row for the Mavs, and they tie the NBA record. Lost in another Dallas.
The Jazz have been playing so poorly of late, but the pick and roll with Jay Humphries will get Utah rolling against Dallas. Watch the great pass by Malone to David Benoit for the jam. Jazz by 5 and 10 gallons of trouble for Donald Connor, the owner of the Mavs. Look at Stockton. Even when he's not trying to make a pass, he gets it to the right guy, to Malone. Then Malone gets it down low on 3 Maverick defenders and still scores. Then the monster jam on Doug Smith. 36 points for Malone in front of Quinn Buckner, who said he was just observing his soon-to-be team, and he observed a 13-point loss. Stockton did have 12 assists. Utah desperately needed a win. It's just their third in 11 tries, and Dallas played this game without the injured Derek Harper and Randy White. Dallas has now dropped 19 in a row, one shy of the record for consecutive losses in a season held by the 72, 73, 76ers, and the other dismal digits continue to mirror the worst team in hoop history.
Against the Bucks, you know, Mash, not used to losing, but it happens when you go pro sometimes. First quarter, Mash gives the Mavs a 7-point lead, but the Bucks control the boards. Rookie Vin Baker with the miss, and then the putback, part of a 14-1 Bucks run. In the second half, Eric Murdoch with the basketball, pulls up, shoots the J. Todd Day with the tip-in. Bucks up 11. Quinn with the strategy. Give it to Mash. Working, fading, hitting. 29 points for Mashburn. Mavs closed it with an 8. But the Bucks pull away again. Kenny Norman bounced today. Thank you very much. 21 points for Todd. And Quinn Buckner has to wonder when this streak will end.
The Mavs looking to set another record, hosting the Spurs. Note the hair on Dennis Rodman. We'll show you more in a bit. The feed for the alley-oop. Rodman's there. See, it's blue. Blue hair this time around on Dennis Rodman. That's a new one. Mavericks had Jamal Mashburn to keep him in. 105 three-pointers on the night. He had 26. Spurs by 4 at the half. All Spurs in the second up to the last seconds. Rodman to Terry Cummings for the jam. Cummings had 20. If you've got a heart, you got a feel for Quinn Buckner. The Spurs win it 104-87. Dallas looking marvelous, setting an NBA record they want nothing to do with. The Mavs dropping their 17th straight home game.
And that was Lucius Harris just kind of bouncing through the middle, and he found Popeye. Meanwhile, Jimmy Jackson looking for help, and he's not finding any. Purvis the block. Adams to Tom Terrific. Googs a game-high 23. Bullets win 98-95. They attempted only 58 shots, their lowest total in 20 years. Quinn Buckner said, I can always come up with positive. That's not an issue. The issue is getting a win. The Mavs looking for their first winning streak of the year. But when you have to face Dominique, it's not easy. First, he slams with authority. 24 on the night for Nick. Reaches a milestone on the driving bucket. Becomes the 11th player in history to reach 23,000 career points. Hawks built an 11-point fourth-quarter lead. The Quinn's guys chip away. Jim Jackson over contact. Then Fat Lever Lafayette for 3. And the Mavs within 3. Last chance for the Mavs. Monster Mash, no. One has to wait for another streak to develop. The final 90-85. The Hawks were playing for the 5th time in 7 days. Neek scored 14 of his 24 in the third quarter as the Hawks outscored the Mavs 36-19.
Reich on 4th down to throw. Pressure sacked by Jeffco. And fumble. And Leon Lett picks it out of the 40. Take a look out. Here he goes. Here comes the 10 to the 20. Go Leon Lett has it knocked out of his hand. It's a fumble. It's a fumble. He had it knocked out of his hand. He was hot dogging and held it out at the 2-yard line. And from behind, the Bills came and knocked it out of his hand.
It's not going to be a touchdown.
No, it's not. Don Beebe caught him from behind.
Touchdown. He's going to dig a hole and crawl out of this place from there.
He's going to need a big hole. They have not made the call yet. Was it knocked out of his hand before? There's Leon.
He celebrated too soon.
No, that's Jeffco. He's the guy who made the hit. Leon Lett's still lying in the end zone.
Now he's on his feet. And the call by hand.
The play has been ruled as a fumble in the field of play. The fumble went forward through the end zone and out of the end zone, creating a touchback. Buffalo's ball, 1st and 10.
Leon Lett would have scored, but he slowed down to celebrate at the 5-yard line, and when he did, Don Beebe, hustling, stripped it away.
Beebe is the fastest Buffalo Bill.
High fly ball, right field deep. Canseco back to the track. Look it out. It is off his head, it looked like. And over the top. A home run. That looked like it hit Canseco to the top of the head. We'll have to check the replay. Oh, it did. It went over the fence. David Hull's laughing out there, so it must hit something funny.
Well, this week in baseball has its lead piece of video.
It either hit his head or his shoulder. Let's take a look at it. Martinez's 4th home run of the year. And Canseco goes back to the wall. He looks like he's checking the wall. He's checking the ball. Checking the wall and the ball. Reaches up. Hits him right in the head. He goes over the top.
It hit Canseco in the head and bounced over the wall for a homer. Look at this. Boink. And it's out of here.
No wonder David Hulse was laughing when he went over there. Jose, you've hit a lot of home runs, you did a lot of great things, but that shot will live forever. You will be remembered for that forever.
Will it go in the win column to Dallas or Miami? Stoyanovich will decide it as he will try this field goal, which will be 40 yards. 40 yards.
to sort it out.
And there's 3 seconds left on the clock.
92, Tolbert gets his hand up in the air and knocks the ball. No, it's not 92, it's 97.
Jimmy Jones.
Now someone touches the football here. Watch what happens. It's Leon Lett. No!
Oh, Lett, who is haunted by a Super Bowl misplay, and the ball goes into the end zone. They say it was touched at the 1-yard line.
If we had instant replay, that's a touchdown. The momentum carried the ball in there, and Leon Lett. No.
Now, with 3 seconds left, Stoyanovich and Peterson are clearing a path. This is less than an extra point, and with 3 seconds left, Miami is that close to pulling this one out.
Not Leon Lett.
The field goal was touched beyond the line by the receiving team. The kicking team then recovered the ball in the field of play and slid into the end zone. However, since the ball was still a kick, it's down when the kicking team recovered the ball. The kicking team gets awarded the ball at the spot in the field of play, first down.
And the Dolphins, as if they received an early holiday present, cheer on the sidelines. The Dolphins pull it out. 16-14. Game over.
We have mutually decided that I would no longer be the head football coach with the Dallas Cowboys.
If we don't look out, we'll take one of the greatest stories that's ever been told in sports, in my view, and we'd take all the positives of that. There are no negatives when you really look at it. But we'd take all the positives of that and maybe take it on into something that in our judgment and in our instincts, we didn't think was going to be what's in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys.
That's to the right. Aikman back to throw it. Intercepted by Eric Davis. And Davis will score for the 49ers. Intended for Kevin Williams. 44-yard touchdown run by Eric Davis. They thought he might be the weak link.
That's a place they wanted to work on. And again, I think Deion Sanders on Harper has thrown him for a loop. They didn't expect that. They're going to throw away from Deion.
Aikman back. Pass is caught and dropped and left on the ground. San Francisco ball.
You're right, that pass was caught, and then it was fumbled.
Michael Irvin made the catch, couldn't hang on.
Now, the ball is thrown a little behind him. He comes down, he has both feet there, and then the ball just got stripped.
By Eric Davis again.
Right, just as Michael Irvin is ready, just as Troy Aikman is ready to throw that ball, he gets hit right there, so he couldn't step and follow through.
Here's Young, pump fake. Outside the Waters inside the 10. Knocked out of bounds at about the 1. Now they say touchdown, he was in. Ricky Waters from 29 yards out on a pass from Steve Young, and the 49ers are hot.
Man, did he have time? I think Ricky Waters was about Steve Young's third wide receiver, because watch his pass protection. Last game they didn't have it. Starts out with a play pass. He looks to the left. He pumps. He looks down the middle. He pumps. He looks out here to the right. His third receiver, Ricky Waters, all the way out here on the right side. Now he does that high step, stays in bounds.
Brand. Kickoff. Kevin Williams' third kickoff return of the day. They need something to happen. Again, the ball is loose. And again, San Francisco recovers.
Doug Bryan, the kicker, I believe, made the recovery.
Well, what a start for this 49er team. And William Floyd, he thought he was going to get a break. He can't even take his shoulder pads off for a second. And the 49er offense is back in there again. It's Kevin Williams. He's going into a crowd. There comes a strip right there. The ball is knocked out right there.
Adam Walker.
And it's on the ground. And as you said, Doug Bryan, number 4, the kicker, is going to be the guy that ends up with it. Touch a ball on the ground, goes out of bounds, and there comes the kicker sliding in feet first.
Second and goal at the 1. Floyd. Touchdown San Francisco, and the 49ers lead it 20-0. Wow, are they impressive?
The 49ers wanted the crowd to get in this game, and the 49ers have given the crowd reason to be in this game.
This is Doug Bryan from 34 yards out, trying for a field goal, and he hits it. And the 49ers move ahead 24-7 with 5:54 left in the second quarter. 2 tight ends. Young goes back to throw, going deep. For Jerry Rice, covered by Brown. Touchdown. Touchdown. Young to Rice.
If the Cowboys didn't run it out when they had it, they didn't put anyone back on the punt. You thought they were going to run it out. They didn't. They gave the 49ers an opportunity. They had a bad punt, and when you give the 49ers an opportunity, they're going to go after you. Here's Larry Brown. The 49ers said he's the guy that we're going to work on deep, and if you're going to work on him deep, work on him with Jerry Rice. A little out and a little up and a perfect pass. Who can they go for you?
He just went right by him.
Yep. And Jerry Rice on Larry Brown is no matchup. No, I think you just throw one of those things up, you know, because the half can't end on a penalty, so you hope for a completion or a defensive penalty.
Aikman's going to try it. He just goes deep to Harper and lets him jump. Incomplete. Maybe intercepted. It was intercepted by the 49ers, but that's academic. Aikman took a pretty good shot.
Yeah, he did take a good shot. Watch Troy Aikman. He steps up, and just as he throws that, Tim Harris hit him, and I think he took more of a shot when he hit the ground and wobbled a little.
Floyd?
Yeah.
Young is alone. Here's that quarterback draw set up, and Young gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Steve Young.
Oh, boy, I think that monkey just left that left shoulder. I think he threw it off right there with that touchdown. He had a draw, and there was no draw there. He had to run. And then he had to run like a running back on that one. You expect the thing, when he stops back and he gets here, he expects these guys to fly out, and he expects this to happen and have a big hole there. But he's not going to find any of that. He starts the motion, but they stun into it. So there's no place for a draw in that middle, and he has to run like a halfback to get to the corner.
He had been replaced by Ron Stone, but he's back now. Here's Aikman pumping and going deep. And Sanders intercepts for San Francisco. Michael Irvin takes him down at about the 2-yard line.
Deion's starting that dance down there, and they all get away from him and let him do a little dance. But he's been, earlier he started on Harper. Here's Deion right there. He's man-to-man on Michael Irvin. He squats a little bit. He is so fast that Irvin could get by him. He can catch up with him and pass him and get the interception.
So the 49ers take over. 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and San Francisco leads 38-21. Second and 10 at the San Francisco 43. Aikman again will have to throw, and does, and goes deep. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Michael Irvin. And Deion Sanders is with him.
And he had Dion on that one. The whole Cowboy sideline is looking for a penalty on this one. You see, he gets his left hand in there. That's the way defensive backs feel where the guy's going. He got that left arm in there in front of him. Deion Sanders is trying to get some oxygen. He's trying to get close to that grass.
There's a flag on the play on the far side of the field. I think Barry Switzer might have run into the referee.
Yeah, well, half of that sideline was out there. That's what they were yelling about.
Bumping the official on the field.
The official was bumped on the
play
field.
was over. 15 yards. Third down.
15 yards after the play was over. It's still third down.
He thought he should have had the penalty, and then he didn't get it, but he can't go on the field. He better calm down.
And you certainly can't make any contact with the official. They stop the clock only until the ball is marked, and then they start it up again, and it's going.
Holy moly, I've never seen a coach like that.
4th and 10. And Aikman is swamped. Tim Harris takes Aikman down.
That may be the Super Bowl play.
That might be. 5 minutes and 42 seconds left. 38-28, the 49ers by 10. 49ers by 10. Aikman has time this time and gets it to Novacek. Novacek to the 30.
Not a first down.
Not a first down. And the 49ers offensive unit comes on the field and everybody begins to celebrate. The 49ers and Chargers played in the regular season at San Diego, game we did. San Francisco won 38-15. Overall, the series is 4-3. What courage and what an effort by this guy.
The Cowboys have given us a lot of great games and have been great champions.
But 3 in a row won't happen. Nobody's ever done it, and it won't happen now.
Troy Aikman told us, he said, I hope Steve Young wins one. I just don't want it to be against us.
Steve Young, in the shadows of Joe Montana for so many years, is finally out.
And it's his day, and it's his team, and he knows it, and everyone else knows it. I'll tell you, sometimes you just have to let go. Sometimes you hold it, and you want to be a pro. Sometimes you just have to let it go and enjoy it.
Well, they got ahead by 21 points right off the bat as a result of the Dallas turnovers, and again, in almost every game we've ever done, John, that tells the story. Turnovers.
They went out and they made it happen. And again, I think it started, they lost the conference championship. There's Eddie DeBartolo down there hugging everyone. He's the guy that said, let's go out in this free agent. Let's go out in this cap thing. Let's go out and get some defensive players, and he did it. And look at this fired-up guy. Yeah. He looks like he's ready to go in a ring or something.
And again, the trophy presentation, the Hallis Trophy is...
He knocked the cameraman down.
...is going to be presented on the field when the excitement, if it ever does, quiets down.
Steve Young is the man. Look at him, he's jumping over fences. Watch it, he's going to go up into the stands in a minute.
So the final score here at Candlestick is San Francisco 38, Dallas 28.
There it is. John Whitland has put down Dean Palmer, and the Yankees are moving on to the ALCS. The Yankees celebrate at the mound, and listen to the celebration here in the stands. for the Texas Rangers, who made it to the postseason for the first time. But they ran into a gritty bunch of New York Yankees.
Ground ball to second. Knobloch. The Yankees sweep. It took them 3 games and parts of 4 days. But they take the Texas Rangers 3-zip. Allowing them 1 run in the 3-game series. A bouncing ball, Jeter from the outfield grass, long throw, Zeal dives, but can't get there. It's over, and the Yankees sweep it. Tremendous effort by Zeal, but Jeter with a fine play from the outfield grass closes it out.
Gillis moves over, take Leighton out of the play. Wade is out there, moving it up ice. Wade got it over. Here's the speedster. Marchant in. Shot. Score! The Edmonton Oilers! The Edmonton Oilers have upset the Dallas Stars in overtime. Todd Marchant, the 23-year-old.
Absolutely incredible. Their first scoring chance, other than that pileup with Kelly Buchberger in front, officially their first scoring chance in almost 13 minutes of overtime, and the nightmare for the Dallas Stars is complete. It is over. They lose. The young, big, fast, gutsy Edmonton Oilers, who just kept on playing, complete with their 3 pickup guys that came all the way from Edmonton to watch them.
They told Colorado they were coming back. Well, they're coming. They will now play Colorado. We had talked all game about Marchant's speed, that if he could get around, it would be the difference. That is how this game is decided in overtime.
And it was really the first chance we've had to see Todd Marchant's speed, because Dallas has done such a good job, but Grant Ledyard stumbled. He was just outlegged, and Marchant came streaking in. I think he actually banked this off the post. Grant Ledyard knew he was in trouble when Marchant ended up going wide. Watch his shot. If not off the post, then just inside the post. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Robert Smith is back from Minnesota. And he is throwing it back to Cunningham, the old flea picker. And open is Randy Moss, and in the end zone is a Minnesota touchdown.
Yep, you know they were going to do it. The fans knew they were going to do it. The Dallas Cowboys knew they were going to do it. You knew they were going to do it early, where Randall Cunningham just gets that ball and he just chucks it deep to Randy Moss. That was off a flea flicker on the right side. Kevin Smith was a defender. He takes a little bite. Here's Kevin Smith here, and you're going to see him take a little bite there. He looks back. He sees the pitch, and by now it's too late. Because Randy Moss, with Deion Sanders out, could be the fastest player in the NFL. Plays to this Viking team.
Here's Cunningham back to throw it and going deep, and he's got Moss, and there's a flag on the play, and Moss has caught the pass and is in the end zone anyway. Touchdown. Just throw it as far as you can.
This guy is amazing. Randy Moss is amazing. Randall Cunningham is amazing. That Randall Cunningham was telling us last week that Moss just tells him, hey, dog, just chunk it in the end zone. And he said he always tells him, just chunk it in the end zone, and that's exactly what he does.
6 defense. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
That was Kevin Smith. They went to work on Kevin Smith, and he was in there. He got a penalty, and Randy Moss still caught it.
The Vikings have 29 touchdown drives, if you can call them drives, this year of 3 minutes or less.
Well, this guy is just fun to watch, and Kevin Smith knows that he's in a foot race there, and he can't win it. So he grabbed Randy Moss. I mean, that was the only thing that he could do, and that wouldn't have given him a chance anyway.
The Cowboys showing blitz. Minnesota hits Randy Moss, breaks a tackle, and Randy Moss races down the sideline, and Randy Moss just outruns everybody into the end zone. He is incredible. I think he might be enjoying some turkey.
Yeah, he better like a turkey leg. I'll tell you, it's just a short pass out there. Charlie Williams is there, and he misses a tackle. Here's Randy Moss. Here's Charlie Williams, and you're going to see it's just a little 3-yard go. Charlie Williams is there. He makes a poor tackle or no tackle, and then when Randy Moss gets here, he just outruns everyone. I mean, he is fun to watch.
Phillips had the angle. He had everything.
You know, angles, and all those things don't mean anything against speed.
51, 56, and 56-yard touchdown catches by Randy Moss. 3 catches, 3 touchdowns, 163 yards.
Interesting guy, isn't it? They moved him over from linebacker to fullback so he could make the team.
They say he has very good hands in addition to being tough. Irvin makes the catch from Aikman. Picked up about 8. Bobby Taylor with Michael Irvin, who stays down.
Here's Michael Irvin. He's going to run the slant. You see, he's going to come about 4 yards and just come to the inside. Bobby Taylor was a little slow getting a jump on that, and it was the second guy in that got Michael Irvin.
Somebody flashed by, hit him in the back, maybe in the helmet with a knee. I think it was Houck.
Yeah, you know, we talk about hitters. The Eagles have one in this Tim Houck. He's number 45, and it looks like him. He's going to come flying by. You see, Irvin sees him, and Houck comes and just lowers it on him right there.
Looked like some helmet to helmet.
It looked like he was trying to use his helmet, but I think Michael Irvin was lucky in that he saw him, because, you know, after he got by Bobby Taylor, he catches that ball. Now watch, Michael Irvin sees that coming. Tim Houck does lead with his helmet on there. He tries to go helmet to helmet, but Michael Irvin gets his head down, and it wasn't helmet to helmet.
His head got twisted underneath against the artificial turf. And it's hard here at Veterans Stadium.
You see how Michael Irvin there was trying to shake his head initially. I think I think the injury was caused from the head hitting the turf. I mean, there's a lot of bad things about artificial turf, and the hardness of it is one of them.
Michael Irvin still down, and they're still looking at Michael.
You know, this is one of these things that, you know, they take all the precautions that they can. I mean, and then every stadium has a way to get a player off the field. They're bringing a gurney out right now. They're not going to move him. They're not going to let him move. Players are all doing the one thing that they can, just, you know, pray that everything is all right, that Michael Irvin is all right here.
Did you see the pictures of Dallas Stars Mike Modano when he was hit? It went into the board. The Eagle players are talking to their fans and asking them to be quiet.
Yeah, we just saw a picture there of Emmitt Smith. Yeah. Emmitt Smith was down there with Michael Irvin the whole time, and when they brought this gurney in, Emmitt Smith left for the first time. This is one of those things that, you know, that every player feels, and every coach and everyone involved feels for the player that's down.
And as you said, they take no chances when an injury looks like this. They take no chances really of any injury, but particularly when it involves the neck, head.
And they do a great job.
Yes,
I mean,
they do.
At one time, they didn't, and then this became a very important part. And there's X-ray facilities at every stadium. There's an ambulance at every stadium. They have ways to transport the players off the field.
You could see as he went down, he was trying to get his mouthpiece out of his mouth.
Well, and it was one of those things on that slant. He knew that he had Bobby Taylor beaten, So the next guy coming in was the strong safety, Tim Hawk, and he saw him coming, and Hawk was zeroing in on him, so he went to avoid that block, that tackle. In doing so, went right into the turf.
Really, there's not much you can do except hope and be quiet. Michael Irvin being strapped on to the gurney stretcher. Very solemn moment. The event that you might have just joined us, here's the play again.
It's Michael Irvin. He comes in a slant, catches the ball. Bobby Taylor goes to tackle him there. He sees Tim Hawk coming from the other side, and then he goes to avoid that. Tim Hawk had him zeroed in. And you can see right there, he looks up and he sees it, and then he has to get down, and in doing so, yeah. Now, Pat, it looks like they're backing the ambulance out because they didn't, they're starting to move him now.
Yeah.
And then they backed the ambulance out of the under area.
You know, it didn't look like a collision that was that violent. I mean, I think we've seen a lot more vicious appearing hits than that.
Yeah, it was a pretty violent hit with the turf is what it was. He was avoiding what would have been a violent hit with Tim Hawk. And in doing so, I think he had a pretty violent collision with the turf.
Jerry Jones and his son Stephen over by the ambulance now.
You know, and knowing Jerry Jones, I'll bet you he gets in the ambulance and goes with him.
There was a big, long article in the Philadelphia paper this morning about what a job Jerry had done to keep the three stars of the Cowboys together. From the information from Rich Dalrymple of the Cowboys, Michael Irvin's eyes are open. He is alert and moving. That, although it may not appear to it to be, is certainly very encouraging. There's Rich and the rest of the contingent by the back of the ambulance. But just continuing.
Back it up! Back it up, guys.
The article this morning was talking about what a remarkable job that Jerry had done of keeping the three together. And now to watch one of the three, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, and Michael Irvin.
Stevens winds up, takes it. That one wide, and boy, they got a couple of screens the Devils did in front. Back to the point, Stevens stepped up to hold it in, Hull stole it, Stevens holds it in again. Shot it right through the top of the crease. And they have centered shot! Score! The New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup! Jason Arnott with the game-winning overtime goal!
Oh, finally the ending of the movie that Melanie Brodeur has been watching. The Dallas Stars with an incredible effort to try to keep this thing alive, but finally a mistake. And Jason Arnott in absolutely the right place to handcuff Ed Belfour, and the Devils are the champions.
They win it at 8:20 of the second overtime. The fans applauding everybody. The chant is Eddie, Eddie, rightfully for their goaltender. But the New Jersey Devils have won the Stanley Cup.
And Kerr to throw on first down. And throw long. Bradford Bradford. There's a flag. Interference on Westbrook. Holy cow, what a start. Cowboys come with 4. Kerr with time. Complete down to the 5. Diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Billy Miller. Are you kidding me? Second and 18. Carter short set, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aaron Glenn. A horrible throw from Quincy Carter.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though. No. Aaron Glenn, you talk about playing the ball, and then watch him block out Antonio O'Brien. He can't get to the ball.
The most of any place kicker in the National Football League. This is from 42. No wind at Heinz Field. We're at Reliant Stadium, and he knocks it through. Come with a blitz, and they've got Carter again back at midfield. Blitz coming. Carter in trouble, throws incomplete. The pressure by that Texans defense has been unrelenting.
Those will have to start making tackles.
Billy Cunda from 42 yards. He yanked it left. Second and 7 for the Texans. Kerr. Bradford. Touchdown. Was 65.
Michael, which was the expansion team? Dallas has 9 penalties for 117 yards. The only turnover, and they've never led in this ball game.
It's amazing. Or when they get to his arm, there's no doubt he has a gun. And now the Texans are pumped. And they're saying the ball came loose. No signal from the official.
There's enough Houston arms pointing in a different direction. That's what you're looking at. Is his knee down when the ball comes out? You can just see it. Just off of Miller's left leg, you can see the ball start to come down and be loose.
Well, the critical part is I don't think you can see enough on this to overturn it.
That's exactly right. That's if that play was called on the field, there is nothing that's going to overturn this call.
Put it right back.
It could go again.
Excuse me.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined there is not sufficient evidence to overrule the ruling on the field. The play stands as called.
Good call.
Fumble recovered by Houston. First down.
Carter under pressure.
Safety.
They got him. It's a safety.
That ought to do it.
Seth Payne and Gary Walker. Now Dallas can't stop the clock anymore. 3rd and 5. The Cowboys, one last gasp. They have to hold here. Allen. It's over. And what a smart play. Don't go out of bounds. Lay down. You've got the first down. You win.
Good night.
David Carr gave the ball to the official. He says, no, can I have that back, please?
What a game. I mean,
what a night for Houston, guys.
It really was. It was a great game to watch and do.
The final score. The Texans win their opener, 19-10 over Dallas.
Nicholas Havlet will move it ahead. Cross the red line and shoot it around. Turco couldn't get all of it. LeClaire in by Hatcher. Centered by shot. Score! There it is! In sudden death overtime. It's Peter Sykora. The game that would not end just has. And maybe justice has been served after the controversial goal ended up not counting. The mighty Ducks of Anaheim defeat the Stars 4-3, 55 seconds of overtime, and a classic
classy move by those that have stayed here in Dallas. An ovation for both clubs.
Sykora had an unbelievable chance late in the last overtime. Great save by Turco to the glove side. Now with the puck down low, LeClaire, who's been a big body in this game, him and Hatcher behind, he gets some help, backhand pass by Oates, and this puck was deflected by the stick of the back-checking Dallas star, Jere Lehtinen, and it caused a knuckler and a bit of a change in direction. I'm sure that Turco's expecting this on the glove side with that stick in the way. It changes, it goes to the stick side, and Sykora, who, as we showed you before, was drilled by Hatcher in that Stanley Cup winning moment here in Dallas, gets redemption in a different sort of way. This is an overtime game winner, one of the longest in history, and Peter Sykora, the sniper, has got the game winner.
And TNT. All in the ballpark. And Dallas with the commanding lead. Greg Popovich a moment ago inserting Steve Kerr for the first time tonight. 37-year-old Steve Kerr in his 15th NBA season, getting it to Steven Jackson.
Tony Parker is all right medically to continue playing. However, Coach Popovich says you got to give him some more fluids to raise his energy level.
Mark, how about Steve Kerr on his first attempt hitting the three? And for the Spurs, it has come down to this fourth quarter. They're hoping to wrap it here tonight. Nice move by Manu Ginobili. 11 assists for Nash. Drew Duncan at the line. Again, the Mavericks get back. Naharan matches up with Jackson. Jackson has had the hot hand. Ginobili open. Yes. Manu Ginobili hits the three. He has 7.
Tough to tell whether it was not the white jersey that tipped it last.
Jackson for three. Yes! Steven Jackson shooting the Spurs back into it. He now has 21. Mavericks have led by as many as 15. It's down to 6. Here comes Jackson. Spreads it out. And then shoots. Yes! Another three for Steven Jackson. It's a 3-point game. Timeout called by the Mavericks. That's his 5th 3 of the night.
LaFrance is trying to clear himself. He gets hit in the chin.
Here's Kerr for 3. Yes! Steve Kerr, a member of 4 straight NBA championship teams. 3 with the Bulls. Then in 1999 with the Spurs has come off the bench to hit 2 threes. The game is tied at 71. Nash saving the backcourt violation. Nash picked up by Duncan. Nash forced it. Look out, Kerr diving for it, able to tip it, and Jackson is on it.
You're exactly right. That was Steve Kerr that dove for that thing and kept it alive.
Jackson changed his mind. Good decision. Kerr with another 3. Yes! And an incredible display by the 37-year-old Steve Kerr since he has entered the game. San Antonio has outscored Dallas 26-8.
Total energy reversal, total momentum change. Same thing for San Antonio here tonight.
Now Duncan backing Naharan. Tim Duncan with his first field goal in 27 minutes. And you get the idea. Jeff, you mentioned this is exactly what San Antonio was facing in Game 5. The Mavericks are feeling the pressure here in the fourth quarter.
And right now, Dallas doesn't want to double because this man has been killing it.
Kerr again! Steve Kerr with another 3. And only a 74% free throw shooter. The New Jersey Nets waiting in the wings. You can log on to NBA.com. And the Dallas Mavericks are hearing the applause from this crowd. Greg Popovich and Don Nelson congratulated each other. San Antonio outscored Dallas 34-9 in the fourth quarter.